Time to buy a brand new 88 Oldsmobile, rocket engine, power, and big car feel.
The 50s were exuberant. We come out of a war, unsatisfied demand for everything, from homes to washing machines to automobiles. We sold everything we could make, and it was exuberance. I can't think of a better word.
It's out of this world. Take a look at the new Ford for 1950.
The exuberance of the 1950s flowed from the fact that post-World War II America was the richest country in history. More than half of everything made or sold in the world was made or sold in the United States.
Find a wheel and it goes round, 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 as it skims along with a happy sound as it goes. Along the ground, 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 till it leads you to the...
Americans saw themselves as pioneers on a new consumer frontier, strong, outwardly confident, carefree, and on the road to a glowing future.
7 seconds after launching, the rocket is a ruin. America has suffered a grave scientific setback.
Wrapped up in their dreams of the good life, Americans were in for a rude awakening.
Come on, baby, let the good time roll. Come on, baby, let me thrill your soul. Come on, baby, let the good time roll. Roll all night long. Come on, baby, yes, this is it. This is something I just can't miss. Come on, baby, let the good time roll. Roll all night long.
Come on, baby, while the thrill is on. Come on, baby, let's have some fun. Come on, baby.
Life in America has changed. So it is that we can make our living on a farm and have a home in town. So it is that we can live where we want to. And the shopping centers now come out to meet us.
I'm out to go wandering along the mountain track. And as I go, I long to sing my knapsack on my back.
The 50s were a time when Americans started to move like they had never moved before. In 1950, Americans owned 40 million cars and trucks, a number that would double by the end of the decade. In 1956, President Eisenhower signed the Federal Aid Highway Act, and work began on a 42,000-mile system of interstate highways. For the first time, life in America had a fast lane. To serve the mobile masses, drive-in restaurants popped up all over the country.
Come join my happy soul.
Entrepreneurs were quick to come up with gimmicks to turn fast food into fast profits. But no one would understand the need for speed better than two brothers in San Bernardino, California. Dick and Mac McDonald.
After World War II, their attitudes were completely different. They were impatient, and we were beginning to get many complaints how slow the service was. We decided if the customer wants fast service, we're going to give them fast service.
The brothers slashed their menu from 25 items to focus on 3: hamburgers, fries, and milkshakes. They boasted that you could get served not in 20 minutes, but in 20 seconds.
They made the decision. A hamburger or a cheeseburger. They pre-selected the condiments, a dab of ketchup, a dab of mustard, a touch of onion, a little pickle, the roll. Bingo, that's done. You don't get a choice. You get French fries, and you can get a shake. We'll make the decisions. They mechanized and speeded up the whole process and kept the price down and kept the quality up.
I was there on opening day and sold the first McDonald's hamburger. In fact, I sold 6 of them. The first order was 6 hamburgers at 15 cents a piece, 90 cents. And that was the start of a great dynasty. It was like being in a fishbowl. People could look in front and both sides of the store and see everything that was being done And I think that was important to a lot of people, especially in those days when there was a lot of bad product put out. It was great. It was fast.
I think McDonald's was like Levittown on a bun. I mean, it was that same wonderful uniformity. No surprises. Also, the great genius, of course, was fast food. Because, again, you had to have fast food or you wouldn't have time for the 40 activities your children had after school each day. So as the culture changed, the food had to change with it.
By the early 50s, Dick and Mac's little hamburger stand was showing an annual profit of $200,000. The brothers decided to sell their first franchise to Phoenix businessman Neil Fox.
When we started the franchise, we had no intention of anybody using the name. What we were going to sell them was a building layout, an equipment layout. They wouldn't have to worry about getting a contractor to design this and that. But we had no intention of them using our name, primarily because our name meant nothing, outside of San Bernardino. But for some reason, Neil Fox wanted to use the name. See, he says, the name would be Lucky. See, and we tried to talk him out of it. We said, forget it, Neil. Nobody in Phoenix ever heard of McDonald's. Well, he said, and he kept after us. So one day my brother said, listen, Neil's such a good egg. He says, if he wants to use the name, so what?
The invention of the golden arches was Dick's idea. One architect called them a bad dream. Another agreed to include them in his blueprints only after McDonald's agreed not to divulge the architect's identity. With the addition of more franchises, the success of the McDonald's drive-ins caught the eye of one of their suppliers, a milkshake machine salesman known as Mr. Multi-Mixer, Ray Kroc.
One day I'm sitting in my office as the fellow came in. He says, had a high voice. He said, hi, my name is Ray Kroc. He said, I can't understand it. No matter where I get, the line is still out to the street. He said, do people stand in a line like that to get a milkshake and a hamburger? And I says, that's it. He says, well, how long will those lines continue? And I says, till we close down tonight. He could not believe it.
When I saw the McDonald brothers, I envisioned selling hundreds of Mullimixers and getting a profit on the Mullimixer. And that's all I thought about right then.
Ray Kroc finally did see a future in hamburgers. He became McDonald's franchise agent and set about fine-tuning the fast food formula.
Production control begins with the very first batch of 12 hamburgers. One top are put on first and covered with a bun board, followed by bun bottoms.
Although the franchisees were independent businessmen, they had to adhere to rigid rules.
Let's get those hamburger patties over.
There's a wonderful note that he sends to McDonald's talking about the dangers of individualism within the company. This is in 1958. He writes to them, he says, we have found out, as you have, that we cannot trust some people who are nonconformists. We will make conformists out of them in a hurry. Even personal friends who we know have the best of intentions may not conform. They have a difference of opinion as to various processing and certain qualities of product. You cannot give them an inch. The organization cannot trust the individual. The individual must trust the organization, or he shouldn't go into this kind of business. Don't cross Ray Kroc.
Well, Ray was fastidious and very well manicured, and he expected this of everyone who was involved with him in the company. So Ray had this leather packet. You'd put your business cards, your file, and your comb. And then one day, he added a new feature to the packet that would fit inside your breast pocket. And the new feature he added was a pair of small tweezers. And this was to clip the hair in your nose. Well, I went home that night and looked, and oh my God, I could see I needed the tweezers. And I think I realized where the tweezer idea came from. Ray was a very competitive guy. He had an expression that I used to just wince when he'd say it. But he'd get up in